Hurricane Harvey, devastation on the Texas coast. It's now made yet another landfall heading east through Louisiana. At this point, there are more than 30,000 people who have been displaced from their homes in sheltered. More than 30 people have been killed. And we'll have a story coming up later about what we've called the forgotten victims of this hurricane, all of the pets and where they're going to end up. But our region has had a swift response, sending first responders. Governor Christie gave another press conference today in a series of press conferences. Our own Rohan Mohanty caught up with the governor today. And, you listen to what the governor had to say. It seems it was more about Governor Christie saying that he is actually in a unique position to help. Take a listen.
I'm here to help when he needs it. We're here to provide resources that he needs. I'm in one of the unique positions of knowing how overwhelming this can be. And so, all I've continued to assure him is make one decision at a time. That's all you can do. Don't try to make every decision all at once. You can't. Make one decision at a time and then move on to the next one. And we'll be there to help him in any way we can, both with advice and, more importantly, with resources for the folks in Texas and whatever they need.
All right, guys, so you heard the governor. What are your thoughts right away, Alex? I mean, the governor seemed to me to make this more about him than about the victims.
Well, I think Governor Christie's best moment as governor was his response in the first moments of Hurricane Sandy. And I think he's doing the right thing here by saying we can't have the pettiness of tit for tat that the Texas lawmakers didn't want to give aid to Sandy. He wants to help. And I commend him for sending help and doing everything he can to do that.
Hey, Laura, isn't the governor a complete and utter hypocrite? I mean, even the attack on Ted Cruz and John Cornyn and all these lawmakers, it was very clear what they were voting against. They weren't voting against aid to victims. They were voting against emergency spending in the tens of billions of dollars when you look at that original Sandy bill. So is it fair that the governor has politicized this? And did he really do that great a job at Sandy? I mean, there's still people out of their homes here 5 years later.
Look, I don't know that I would say it's unfair. And I would also say that I don't know that it's fair to criticize Governor Christie or anyone else for the response to Hurricane Sandy. These disasters are very difficult. They are very costly, and no one figure is going to be the person to fix the whole thing. That said, Governor Christie is a big guy with a big ego. And of course he's going to politicize it. Of course he's going to put himself center stage. But that aside, I think his message is a good one. I think he's right that we need to come together. I think that he's right that funds need to be appropriated. And I mean, he's doing the best that he can here. And, it's not surprising that he's going to do it in a way that makes himself look good.
Does the governor taking credit for this, does it help or hurt guys like Tom MacArthur, guys who are actually involved in the voting on some of this funding?
I don't think the governor's opinion on it helps or hurts. I think people like Congressman MacArthur take every issue and look at it and do what they should. And what I will say is everything right now is being fixed, and they're focusing on the immediate recovery. It's the stuff years down the line. And I went through Sandy, and 5 years later, my neighbors and friends are still dealing with a lot of issues that are bureaucratic red tape from the federal and state and local level. So that's what I think people down there really need to be thinking about down the line.
All right, guys, stick around. We got to talk about the laws about sleigh bells and pies. Where do you hear it?